5 commonly mistaken basketball rules, FIBA edition. These tend to be the rules that players, coaches, and fans often get incorrect or tend to yell out in a game. First one we're going to look at is an inadvertent kickball submitted by Steven. This is the one where the ball hits a player's foot and everyone's yelling for kickball. So let's look at the rule and what applies. So straight from the rulebook 13.2, a player shall not run with the ball, deliberately kick or block it with any part of the leg, or strike it with a fist. And here's the key part. However, to accidentally come into contact with or touch the ball with any part of the leg is not a violation. So in order to have a kickball, you have to intentionally kick the ball. Usually you see this when people try to stop a pass, but if a ball hits your leg inadvertently, it's just a play on. The next one we're going to look at is charges drawn by moving defenders, submitted by Mike Merrick. This is a case where people think that in order to get a charge, you have to be standing still in a legal guarding position. So in your cylinder. However, you can be on the move as a defender and still draw a charge. This is your cylinder, your base of what a defender is allowed to be and occupy on the floor. In addition to the cylinder, you need a legal guarding position, which is facing your opponent and having both feet on the floor. Having these two together allows for an opportunity to take a charge. Now that we have a base and understand what a defensive legal guarding position is, we can now show why you can take a charge while moving. So the first thing you need to understand is that elements of time and distance do not apply when you're guarding the ball handler who's dribbling or holding the ball. Now to put it all together to understand why you can be moving to take a charge. If the defensive player has initial legal guarding position, he can remain stationary, jump vertically, move laterally or backwards to maintain that position. His foot or both feet can come off the floor for an instant as long as he's moving laterally or backwards and not towards the player. Contact has to occur in the torso, and if all that occurs, then we have a charge. So you can be moving to take a charge as long as it's in the torso, you have legal guarding position, and you beat them to the spot. Players slide on the floor with the ball, submitted by Jeff Mayo. So when someone dives for a loose ball and they get it and they start sliding on the floor, or they lose their balance and they fall on the floor, people assume that's automatically a travel just because you're moving on the ground or you fell to the ground. 25.2.2 says this exact scenario, that it is legal when a player falls and slides on the floor while holding the ball. So whether you dive on the ground for a loose ball and you're sliding by momentum, or you lose your balance and you fall to the ground, that is completely legal. It only changes to being illegal if you try to get up without dribbling or roll on the ground. 3 in the key on shot attempts, submitted by Darren Patkow. People assume that 3 in the key continues even if offense shot the ball, but that is incorrect. Every time there's a shot attempt, the 3 in the key count resets. In order to find this, you have to understand what it means by a player shall not remain in the opponent's restricted area for more than 3 consecutive seconds while his team is in control of a live ball in the front court. So what it means is that when you have the ball, you're in control of a live ball. But as soon as you shoot that ball, you're no longer in control of a live ball, which means 3 in the key does not exist anymore. So every shot attempt, you lose team control because you don't have the ball anymore. It's in the air. So that's why you can't have a 3 in the key while you're shooting the ball. Contact with verticality, submitted by Ron Ginso. This is more in the frame of a player being in their cylinder in a legal guarding position, and an offensive player drives right into them. There's a lot of contact, and the coach on offense is asking why there's no foul. Hey, there's contact. Oh, that's a lot of contact on that play. Or his arms hit him. That has to be a foul. When that is not true. As long as the requirements are met where they're in a legal guarding position, they jump straight up in their cylinder, it doesn't matter how much contact there is, or if offense embellishes the contact and falls, we do not have a foul. We are not going to penalize the defender for being vertical and in their space when offense has initiated that contact.